हरे राम राम हरे हरे। जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जनवल्लभ, जय गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जनवल्लभ, जय गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन, यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन, यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन। जमुनातीरा वनचारी, यमुनातीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा, कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. Let's do this song today. Bhajo Re Mana Shri Nandanandana. Jai Shri Prabhupada. This is by Govinda Dasa Kaviraj. Bhajo Re Mana Shri Nandanandana, Abhaya Charanar Vindare, Abhaya Charanar Vindare। भजो रे मन श्रीनन्दनन्दन, भय चरणारविन्दरे। दुर्लभ मानव जन्म सत्संगे, दुर्लभ मानव जन्म सत्संगे, तरहो है भव सिंधुरे, तरहो वैभव सिंधुरे। सीतातप बात परीक्षण, ऐ दीन जामिनी जागिरे, ऐ दीन जामिनी जागिरे। विफल से विनु कृपन दुर्जन, विफल से विनु कृपन दुर्जन, चपल सुखलभ लागिरे, चपल सुखलभ लागिरे। धन यौवन पुत्र परिजन, एते कियाचे पर तीतिरे, एते कियाचे पर तीतिरे। कमल दल जल जीवन तलमल, कमल दल जल जीवन तलमल, भजहु हरिपद नीति रे, भजहु हरिपद नीति रे। श्रवण कीर्तन स्मरण वंदन, पाद सेवन दास्य रे, पाद सेवन दास्य रे। पूजन सखी जन आत्मनिवेदन, दन पूजन सखी जन आत्मनिवेदन गोविंद दास अभिलाष रे गोविंद दास अभिलाष रे भजो रे मन श्रीनंदनंदन अभय चरणारविंद रे अभय चरणारविंद रे. Srila Govindas Kaviraj is saying, O mind, just worship the lotus feet of the son of Nanda, which makes one fearless, having obtained this rare human birth. Cross over this ocean of worldly existence through the association of saintly persons, sadhu sangha. Both in the day and night I remain sleepless, suffering the pains of heat and cold, the wind and the rain. For a fraction of flickering happiness, I have uselessly served wicked and miserly men. What assurance of real happiness is there in all of one's wealth, youthfulness, sons, and family members? This life is tottering like a drop of water on a lotus petal. Therefore, you should always serve and worship the divine feet of Lord Hari. It is the desire and great longing of Govinda to engage himself in the 9 processes of bhakti, that is, hearing the glories of Lord Hari and chanting his glories, constantly remembering him and offering him prayers, serving the Lord's lotus feet, serving the Supreme Lord as a servant, worshipping him with flowers and incense, and so forth, serving him as a friend, and completely offering the Lord one's very self. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you, Prabhuji, for the seva. Dandavat pranam. Prabhuji, you're on mute. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Thank you very much, everyone. Oh, Prabhupada, welcome back. ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकय चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सगणरघुनाथान् पितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेव राधा कृष्ण पादान् सगणललिता श्री विशाखावितंश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय श्री प्रभुपाद नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम पदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतिशे नमः. O most beneficent incarnation, you are Krishna himself, appearing as Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you have assumed the golden complexion of Srimati Radharani, and you are widely distributing pure love of Krishna. We offer respectful obeisance unto you. कृष्ण वर्णम तुषा कृष्णम सांगोपांगस्त्र पार्षदम यज्ञ संकीर्तन प्राये यजंती सुमेधसः. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his uh, associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. नानाशास्त्रविचारणैकनिपुणौ षड्धर्मसंस्थापकौ लोकानां हितकारिणौ त्रिभुवने मान्यौ शरण्याकरौ राधाकृष्ण पदारविन्द भजना आनन्देन मत्तालिकौ वन्दे वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुयुगौ श्री गोपालको श्री जीव गोपालको. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis of Vrindavan, namely Shri Rupa Goswami, Shri Sanatana Goswami, Shri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Shri Raghunath Das Goswami, Shri Jiva Goswami, and Shri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are honored all over the three worlds, and they are worth taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Shri Radha and Krishna. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयत् नष्टप्रायेष्व भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयत् नष्टप्रायेष्व भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. जय श्री प्रभुपाद. जय श्री प्रभुपाद. गोविंदम आदि पुरुषम तमं भजामि. Sanjeev Prabhuji, I think, can you hear me, Sanjeev Prabhuji?
Yes,
Sanjeev
Prabhu.
Prabhuji,
I can. Yes, yes.
Prabhuji, this my professor is struggling to get on the link. She's having difficulty. Can you reach her?
There she is.
Hare Krishna. I joined.
Oh, there she is. There she is.
Yeah.
Welcome back,
Okay.
everybody.
Hare Krishna.
We have a very distinguished guest among us, Premaji here. She is the academic chairperson in this International Hindu University. I'm a student.
Oh my
she's
God.
she's really, I mean, so busy, taking time for us. Welcome back. Welcome, Mataji. Welcome, Premaji.
माता जी
प्रभु जी
दंडवत प्रणाम.
दंडवत प्रणाम सबको. हरे कृष्णा, हरि बोल. I will not say that I'm, dean and all that. It is Krishna's messengers. We are all Krishna's. That is how, because of Krishna's grace, we are all there. We are all Sanatanis. We are all together. There is some link. That is the reason we are here. And I'm so blessed. Each and every material that I see, I read. Oh my God. He is into the deep and he dives. So I'm so blessed and I'm so obliged that with your grace, Krishna's grace.
Premaji, you are very generous. She is very,
Haribol.
I mean, that speaks about her humility also, Hare Krishna. So I
Hare
hope
Correct.
you enjoy, Premaji. In the end, I hope you'll take part in our discussion also.
Sure.
So time is short and I got a lot to cover. Premaji, if you forgive me.
Please go ahead. Prabhuji,
Thank-
I will be listening. I am not
Yeah, you
that
can be on and
highly
out.
qualified. I am not highly qualified. Each and today I told Mahajan also, every slide is worth at least 2 to 3 hours. So I can understand. Please go
And
ahead.
everybody, she is from Sri Sampradaya. So we are going to start about 4 Vaishnava schools. So we are going to I'm probably going to invite her if she has the time, to
Sure.
give one of the talk with us, okay? But
Yeah,
Premaji,
sure.
if you will.
Sure,
Thank you.
sure. Thank you.
So let me get to my, let me share my slides. Okay, I'm sorry, I have to get my slides. Where is my slides? So pardon me, I'm a little bit disorganized. Okay, everybody can see my slide?
Yes, Swayji. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
wonderful, wonderful. This first slide is actually Archana Mataji. Are you there?
Yes, she's there.
Okay, this slide is for her because yesterday this issue came up, the word
Yes, I'm here, Prabhu.
Jivatman. Archana Mataji, watch this slide. This is the slide exactly I copied from the article of Suhatra Swami Maharaj, okay? As you can see, Jivatma is not my word, it's his word. All I've done is added the diacritics and the ending with N, because that is the academic norm, like Brahman. So they call Jivatman, Atman, Paramatman, like that, So I'm just following that academic protocol. But the word Jivatman is not my word. I borrowed from Maharaj, okay? So, Ashna Mataji, read it, please. I would like you to read yourself.
Okay, Prabhu. When terms Jiva or Jivatman appear in the Upanishads, they unambiguously mean the individual soul, Atman. The term Atman means either the Jiva or Paramatman. Jivati iti Jiva. The Jiva is that which lives or sustains life. Apnoter ater atater va. Atma means that which obtains, eats, enjoys, and pervades all. Jivatman pervades the body. Paramatman pervades the universe. The word Purusha may refer to either Jiva or Paramatman. Puri sete iti Purishayah. That which dwells in the citadel of the heart is Purusha. Chetana and Chit, consciousness, apply to both. Shariratma, the self encased in the physical body, is a synonym for Jivatman.
So, you got the answer now? Yesterday we had a big discussion on that,
Yes,
right?
yes, Prabhu, yes. Thank you so
So,
much.
I got a lot of slides to cover today, and they are very packed with information. So, let me continue. So, here you can see today what we are going to do is lesson 2, the attributes of Absolute, delving into the profound characteristics and ultimate truth of Brahman. So, to really cut short, what we are going to hear today is basically Swarup Lakshana of what is Brahman. Swarup Lakshana means primary characteristics that we are going to hear largely. And towards the very end, the ninth part, it's actually this lesson 2 is all about part 6 through 9, according to Suhrat Maharaj Swami's article. Okay. So, ninth part, and that will continue the third lesson, the interrelationship between Brahman and the Jivatma. So, last 3 slides is going to be on the Jivatmans. Okay. Actually, it should go next lesson, but I'm just following Maharaj article as close as possible. Okay. So again, since this is a complex philosophy, I would like you to feel free. Don't hesitate to stop me if something is not very clear, okay? Because all these concepts have to be clear. And remember, all these lessons, the two lessons that we did before, the Shada Darshana, 6 schools of Vedic philosophy, and now these 4 lessons of what Upanishads teach, and then subsequently we'll start the 11 lessons on that, which is I consider as a really a prerequisite before we actually start 36 lessons new course on the Vedanta Sutras, Srila Vyasadev's Vedanta Sutras, but based on the Gaudiya Vaishnava commentary, who was challenged by the other schools. Unfortunately, Premaji, pardon me, but he was challenged by Ramanandis, that Gaudiya Vaishnava is not a bona fide sampradaya because they did not have a commentary on Vedanta Sutra. All other 4 schools do have that, So what happened, this challenge was given in the court of the king of Jaipur. And he happened to be, because they also challenged the Gaudiya Vaishnava, the Jaipur temple, where there was a deity of Radha Krishna. So, and they claim that Radha is never mentioned anywhere in the Shastra. So they didn't want Radha just a deity there in the Jaipur temple. So the king happened to be an initiated devotee in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. So he sent a word to Vrindavan. At the time, the leading personality, authorized personality, was the great eminent Acharya of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, the Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Okay, so he was very old at that time. He was in his 90s actually. So he commissioned his disciple, his student. Actually, his disciple's name is Sri Baladev Vidyabhushana. Now, Baladev Vidyabhushana actually, his initiating guru was somebody else, but he accepted Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur as his shishya, as his instructive guru. So, knowing his caliber, he sent Baldevji. So Baldevji went there and he explained, he's argued about it, but the Ramanandis would listen. So they said, do you have a commentary? Can you do that? So what he did, in his great humility, he went to the temple of Govindji. The original deity of Govindji is actually in Vrindavan, but because Aurangzeb's time was there, so they surreptitiously moved all the deities. Because Aurangzeb was destroying all the temples and everything, ransacking. So Govindji temple was being worshipped in Jaipur at that time. So he went to the deity and literally prayed, crying to Govindji, what should I do now? It was all his humility. He's a great scholar actually, trained under Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, So Govindji came in his dream, and don't worry, I will dictate you the commentary on Vedanta Sutra. So the Lord himself dictated to him, literally, and that he promised to him that nobody will ever dare to challenge you. Indeed, that's what happened. When he presented the commentary to the Ramanandis, they were speechless completely. And not only that, they immediately accepted his authority. They accepted the authority of the Gaudiya Vaishnavism, their appropriate, and then they even offered to take initiation from him, but he very humbly, respectfully declined. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to treat Sri Sampradaya with great respect, and it's a very dominating school actually, Sri Sampradaya, headed by um, uh, uh, great Acharya. We are going to do his school, his philosophy also, Visishta Advaitavada. So I'll show you that particular slide probably in the next lesson also. Okay, but now I got to run so many slides, so this is just a sidetrack, and it was kind of embarrassing. Premaji is here. Uh, uh, I just wanted to mention this fact actually. This came up at that point. But Sri Sampradaya is incredible, really. And now that I happen to have done considerable research on that, um, it's one of the uh, topmost after Shankaracharya's monotheistic philosophy came into. He is the one first challenge the serving the Lord in his personal form, and he showed the distinctness of what is called Visishta Advaitavada, challenging Shankaracharya's monism theory. Okay, with that out, let's get into this. So this is the very key slide, very important slide. This shows you the Swarup Lakshana of what is Brahman, the primary characteristics. So if you top of the slide, you see the four foundational attributes of Brahman's nature. Briefly, we did cover in our introduction yesterday. Let's do it again. So four characteristics, all of you must remember now, okay? Because this will come across when we do actually Vedanta Sutras. So first is Satyam, second is Jnanam, third is Anantam, and fourth is Ananda. Now remember, Mayavadi says that Brahman is Nirguna Nirakara, attributeless and formless. And everybody wondering if something that is attributeless, Nirguna, Nirakara, how could they project such bliss? And Satyam, yesterday's introduction, I referred to the Satyam word that is defined by Suharta Swami Maharaj. Satyam Sat Te Yam. Sat means that which is eternal, okay? Eternal consciousness, conscious entity. Te means that which is unconscious, and that is Prakriti, okay? So Brahman, Prakriti. And Yam means that which links, that which interconnects. So this Brahman is the one that interconnects Purusha and Prakriti. So as you can see in cosmic manifestation that we discussed yesterday, Brahman in the form of Paramatman, that's how the cosmic manifestation takes place. So Brahman takes the role of both Paramatman, and later on we'll see he is Bhagavan too. So that's the Srimad Bhagavatam verse. Remember, Brahma eti, Paramatma eti, Bhagavan eti, Shabdayet. So the three phases of the absolute truth, they are so tightly packed, you cannot separate one from another. So next comes the Jnanam, full of Jnana potency. And the third one is Anantam, infinity. Anantam means that which has no end to it. And that is what Bhagavan is all about. Brahman is all about. Sarvavyapi. And Ananda, bliss. So these attributes reveal a divine reality. Look at, just watch the words. Very carefully chosen words are there. These attributes reveal a divine reality. It is both profound and transformative. We have been hearing this word transformative quite often. The very bhakti process is transformative. what we were before we came into the Bhakti platform and what we are now. Really tremendous transformation takes place. That is the potency of this Prema Bhakti. Okay, now the second aspect of the Swarup Lakshana, which is the positive and negative attributes. So anything that you want to explain, define, first you point out some positive attributes. And also, secondarily, you also want to point out something in a negative way, but still it's defining the subject matter that you are introducing. Okay, so both ways, it's a standard way that you can positively and define somebody. If you want to introduce someone, say here's a great person, all these things like that, And even though it's a negative way, something says, but the negative is actually ultimately positive way, something good about that personality. So here, positive. The Brahman is Sarvagna. Sarvagna means all knowing. Okay. Second aspect is Sarva Karma. That means he performs all kind of activities. Third, Satya Sankalpa. That we know about Krishna. He just makes a sankalpa. He thinks that this must be done, and immediately that automatically gets things done. Okay. So these are the positive way of defining someone. But there's a negative way. Adrashya, he is invisible. Brahman is obviously not visible. He is asthula. Sthula means gross. Let's say we have a gross body, Pancha Mahabhuta, this physical body, and then there's a subtle body, Manabuddhi Ahankar, right? So here, Brahman is subtle body. Asthula means opposite of gross. Third negative aspect of it is Nishkriya, is inactive. Now that is something I was wondering, because we already heard Brahman is Paramatma, takes a very active role in cosmic manifestation. How could it be inactive? Uh, that's besides the point. Okay, so this reveal positive way reveal Brahman's personal and transcendental nature. And here the negative way of defining someone highlight those ineffable aspects that surpass human comprehension. See that? With our human intelligence, limited brain capacity, limited way of something comprehending spiritual aspect. So that's very, very difficult to assess that. Okay, now as you say 1, 3, and 4. So you might be saying, where is this point 2 is missing here? But no, it's not missing. It's coming in the next slide. And that is a very important slide. And there's a much more amount of information there. So I could not pack it in one single slide. Okay. So fourth one, contradictions in understanding Brahman. So this contradiction is actually on the part of the Mayavadis. The Upanishads present a compelling vision of Brahman that encompasses both positive and negative attributes, challenging the Mayavadi philosophy that attempts to separate Saguna Brahman and the Nirguna Brahman. We, the four schools of Vaishnava philosophy, we worship the personal form of the Supreme. Okay, but that does not necessarily mean that we that they consider as we are worshipping Saguna Brahman. No, Vaishnava schools think they accept that Brahman has both Saguna and Nirguna both. So here it is. Instead, the Upanishad and they Maharaj point out the evidence from the same Upanishads that the Mayavadis quote. Okay, Upanishads assert the profound truth that Brahman embodies both dimensions simultaneously. So both personal and impersonal forms, Brahman has that. And many more such quotations, we will go through that in the 4 lessons. So, okay, Brahman, the four functional attributes now we are going to be hearing. Okay. First is Jagat Karanatva. Karanatva means the causation of the cosmic manifestation. As I told you before, Paramatma actually enters into the Prakriti, and when Mahavishnu throws a glance, so Mahavishnu is a Bhagavan, right? But the Bhagavan, Paramatma, and Brahman, they all three are interconnected and taking role of each other. So here, Brahman is given the top credit here, But Brahman in the form of Paramatma enters there. So this is called cosmic creativity, cosmic manifestation, the creation of the material world. Sarga, all the entities are made, and that in Sankhya Yoga we learned that, right? Purusha and Prakriti. Prakriti first is Pradhana, when the three modes of material nature are not activated. When Paramatma enters and injects the living entities with their past karmas, the three modes get agitated with the time potency. So then that Prakriti becomes Pradhana. I'm sorry, Pradhana becomes Prakriti, and that Prakriti then undergoes, then becomes Mahatattva, the 24 elements. And how those 24 elements, I'm just kind of summarizing quickly the table that I showed you before, the Sankhya Yoga table. So Purusha and Prakriti both are required. And I showed you before, Brahman, the Satyam attributes that has both, Satyam unites both conscious entity, that is Purusha, and the unconscious entity, that is Prakriti, material nature. And that's how Mahat Tattva is formed. And that Mahat Tattva is affected by the three kinds of this ahankara in the goodness, passion, and ignorance, and all the 10 senses are created. Then, in addition, the Manobuddhi Ahankar, and then the Pancha Mahabhuta, and then the Tanmatras. So, all these things takes place very actively, unless and until Paramatma or Brahman is there, nothing could take place. Okay, so that is the Karanatva, reason, the causation. Without the cause, the effect cannot come into existence. Second point, Ishvaratva, a leadership of all, controller. Without the controller of the supreme, nothing can go ahead. So Ishvaratva emphasizes Brahman's supreme authority and governance. So also governs the cosmic administration. The supreme appoints the devas to administer the universe like that. And that Brahman in the form of Paramatma enters in everyone's heart, every living entity's heart, and every atom of the universe, Sarvavyapi, all pervading. So that is why Ishvaratva is there. Okay, so now we'll go to the next slide. So then Antaratmyatva, that is a super soul formation, Antaryami. So he is situated in everyone's heart. So Brahman now that takes the role of a Paramatman. So Antaratmyatva means he knows everything about us and what we are going to do, what we are going to think, what we are going to decide. Everything the Lord knows, he is there inside us. Refers to Brahman's pervasive presence within all beings and its role as an inner guiding force. So this attribute reveals the intimate relationship between Brahman and individual souls. There's a tight interaction is there. Then Adharatva, supporting. Without the super soul being inside our heart, there's nothing we can do about it. Even when we take birth, when we change the bodies, and we get new body because we have this unfulfilled desires, it is Paramatma reminds us that this is what I have given you, a body perfectly tailor-made to try carrying out fulfilling those desires. So that is the support, constant dependence of the living entity on this Paramatma is always a, so that is called Adharatva. Adhara means support. As I told you yesterday, in India we have the Aadhaar card, right? In US we have this Social Security. So final conclusions, together these four functional attributes, so four Swarupa Lakshanas have been described here, very essential characteristics. Four functional attributes paint a rich and comprehensive portrait of Brahman. Okay, so I won't read further. So then there are Vedic mantras. Sitasvatara Upanishad describes Brahman as Purusha or person. So remember that I told Sankhya Yoga, Purusha and Prakriti both are required. So Purusha formation comes from this Brahman in its Bhagavan portion. And okay, as Purusha, a person devoid of physical characteristics. So this interpretation, echoed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, emphasizes that the absence of physical form does not diminish Brahman's capacity to engage and accept offerings, showcasing the divine attributes transcend material limitation. So this is what it is. The Supreme Brahman has no shortage of capacities, all capable. Philosophical implications. The nature of Brahman transcends conventional human understanding. So we have a tiny brain, and here Brahman, even Mayavadi says Nirgun Nirakara, but he has a supreme cognizance. The very first verse of Bhagavatam, remember Bhagavatam is a natural commentary on Vedanta Sutras, and that we said that very first verse defined that right exactly what it said here. Nature of Brahman transcends conventional human understanding of personhood and material form. So this distinction between body and self as perceived in human life does not apply to Brahman, because his soul and body is one and the same when it takes Bhagavan portion of it. Final conclusion. So part 6, this is the last part that we talked about, ventures deep into the attributes of Brahman as portrayed in the Upanishads, illuminating both its positive and negative characteristics. It emphasizes that Brahman embodies essential qualities such as truth, infinity, knowledge, and so on like that. By the way, Sharatpuji, I forgot, I think we were going to recap previous week's lesson, okay? But since I have so many slides to do, we might do later. Philosophical significance, unity of attributes. So this reconciliation of Brahman's positive and negative attributes presents a multifaceted view of the divine. So both ways, when you want to define somebody, that's the best way to do it. Non-duality, the intrinsic unity of Brahman's essence and form challenge the prevailing dualistic interpretations of spirituality, inspiring practitioner to transcend material limitations and recognize the divine presence in all dimensions of existence. So what we'll do, since I straight away started this lesson, because I was under the little bit tension, how would I finish 17, 18 slides? So I forgot that somebody has to recap yesterday's lesson. So what we will do at the end, when I finish this lesson, then that recapping session, we can have that, okay? My apology for that. Nature of worship. The discourse emphasizes the importance of approaching Brahman with heartfelt devotion rather than an impersonal. So this fosters a deeper connection between the worshipper and the divine. So this is a very tight interrelationship we have. If we are a devotee, we are constantly under the supervision and loving service we have that we render, and the Lord reciprocates. That is always there, So here, constantly Upanishad we are talking about. Upanishad only talks about Brahman, but later on we will see, as here also some indications are there, as we discussed just now, the cosmic creation, there Brahman takes the role of a Paramatman. Okay. And later on, we'll see when Bhagavan aspect also will be there. Non-duality. So this exploration invites readers to engage with the nuanced and profound nature of Brahman as taught in the Upanishads, nurturing a deeper appreciation for the richness of Vedic philosophy. See that how deep, intricate Vedic philosophy is there. That nowhere else you'll find that. Okay, now Brahman is the absolute truth. And again, we know that absolute truth in three aspects, right? Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So all three aspects, I keep repeating myself that they are interconnected. As the absolute truth, what Brahman plays a role here? What is the definition? At the heart of the Upanishads lies the concept. Now I'm reading a little bit slowly. Why? Because this is important. Lies the concept of Brahman, the ultimate reality that embodies both transcendence, standing independent and beyond all that exists, and the immanence. Now, these two terms we have been hearing now quite repeatedly, okay? And these two terms are very, very important. It must be crystal clear in your mind because we are going to see the utility of these two words continuously onwards, all the way when we discuss the Vedanta Sutras in this 36 lessons course. That's why I'm trying to prepare you all guys in these prerequisite courses, starting from this Sharadarshana, this Upanishad, overview of the Upanishad. We are not even going through the individual Upanishad. Individual Upanishad itself it's a course in itself, okay? So we are just taking, I'm just taking you, giving an overview, a bird's eye view of major Upanishads that I'm giving, and that is by the help of Maharaj's wonderful article, very scholarly article. Yeah. So the definition of Brahman is given here as the absolute truth. At the heart of the Upanishads lies the concept of Brahman, the ultimate reality that embodies both transcendence and the immanence. What are the two definitions? If somebody could point out to me, we have repeatedly defined that. Radha Vinod Prabhuji, I hope I'm not putting you on the spot.
Yeah, so Hare Krishna Prabhuji, we discussed immanence and transcendence. So this shows the qualities of the Lord. When Lord is in material world, he is not like influenced by material, but he's beyond that. So that shows his immanence, and transcendence is beyond this material
Yeah,
realm.
as in the spiritual world. Right?
In the spiritual world, yes.
Very good, very well
Yeah.
defined, very nicely. Thank you. So these two terms, everybody's mind, this should be crystal clear, okay? We are going to come across so quite often the same way these transformative characteristics of bhakti and all these things that also we have to keep in mind all the time. So there's the dual nature. The Upanishad powerfully illustrate that these two dimensions of Brahman, the transcendence and immanence, are intricately interwoven. What is intricately woven means? Interwoven means they're interconnected so closely all the time. So you cannot separate. That's called interconnection. Just like Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan aspect of absolute truth, you cannot separate it without distorting the essence of Brahman. So this vital perspective challenges simplistic interpretations, whether viewing Brahman merely as Saguna Brahman or Nirguna Brahman. Regardless, philosophical context. First, the historical significance, historical influence. The exploration of absolute found in the Upanishads has profound roots. Roots mean the origin, in both Eastern and Western philosophies. Although the Western discourse on the absolute emerged prominently in the 15th century, it was a fundamental theme in Indian philosophy millennia. Actually, this Shad goes way, way back. Contrast. There's a contrasting view again with the Mayavadis. So this Maharaj points out constantly about that. The same Upanishads he quotes. Okay, the critique of Mayavadi philosophy, which seeks to draw a line between Saguna and Nirguna. So the main problem Mayavadi is they separate two aspects of Brahman, Nirguna aspect and Saguna aspect, and they accept the Nirguna aspect. Saguna aspect means as long as you are not used to accept the Nirguna aspect, they claim that is beyond our understanding, beyond our comprehension. So to prepare us, they recommend that we first worship Saguna. It's called Panchatattva, right? The five entities of the Devas, actually, including their Krishna also is there, or Lord Vishnu is there too. So then you'll be able to grasp the significance of Nirguna aspect of the Brahman. That's what they're saying. But we don't accept that. We think both aspects are there simultaneously, interconnected. You cannot separate one from another. So our conception, according to Srila Prabhupada, that we consider the Nirguna aspects of it is the energy of the Lord. Energy and energetic. Person who has his potencies, you cannot separate from the person himself. So this is like that. But Mayavadis attempt to separate Nirgun Nirakar, and they subordinate role they give it to Sagur Brahman, which is not right. Contrasting views. The critique of Mayavadi philosophy, that is what Maharaj is saying, which seeks to draw a line between Saguna and Nirguna, reinforce the idea. See how they can entangle with their own philosophy. That's what Maharaj is pointing out. That a true comprehension of Brahman necessitates recognizing their inherent unity. Saguna and Nirguna both are tightly capped. As I told you, you cannot separate a person and his shadow. When a person walks outside, you cannot separate. There's no way you can separate the shadow from the person. You cannot separate person himself and his capabilities. That goes with him all the time. Hierarchy of the existence. The verses of Upanishads delineate hierarchy. So there is a hierarchy there. And what is their hierarchy? Wherein the senses, the mind, and intelligence dissolve the boundless nature of Brahman, culminating in the supreme Purusha. So that Purusha we are talking about, okay? And Purusha, we are not talking about we as Purusha, okay? There are two kinds of Purushas there. One is the Brahman or Paramatma, and other one is we. So we have a limited capacity. So here we are talking about the Vishesha Purusha as Patanjali defines, who is beyond time and space. So this hierarchy, so without Purusha being present, Prakriti cannot be activating. Hierarchy starkly contrasts the ephemeral nature. Now, what is ephemeral nature? Anybody? Everybody understood?
Transitory nature.
What is that said again?
Transitory nature.
Yes, correct. Ephemeral means that which has a beginning, which has an end. Material world. Anything on material aspect of it, there's a beginning and the end of material existence. So material existence is like that. Material world is also, it's created, maintained for some time, dissolved, and then recreated. Cycle keeps on going perpetually. So this is a profound, everlasting presence of the spiritual. This is unlike of spiritual thing. Okay, inconceivability of the absolute. is beyond our comprehension. The teaching affirm that Brahman, the absolute, defies human comprehension. Of course, with limited intelligence, how we have a finite way thinking about it, and something which is infinite, there is no way we can comprehend ever. So we need to accept the Shastra, what is given to us. And Shastra is coming from the Supreme Lord himself, was first given to Lord Brahma, and in the disciplic succession it is coming to us. Disciplic succession, Brahma to Narada, Narada to Vyasa, Vyasa to Sukadeva Goswami, and Bhagavatam, and so on like that. So the seer eludes vision, the hearer escapes hearing. This radical assertion highlights the awe-inspiring mystery of the divine transcending the confines of perception. So perception, we ourselves have a limited perception. So we need to depend what is given in our Shastra. Unity and diversity. Central to Upanishadic philosophy is the concept of Sri Chaitanya's Achintya Veda Abheda Tattva. Inconceivable, simultaneously one and different. Okay? Because why it is one and different? Because we have this limited capacity. The inconceivable, and that is beyond our conception. Oneness and difference simultaneously. Because see that human logic defies how could somebody could be inside simultaneously outside. Is near, is far. All these things are very, very beyond our comprehension. Our human logic defies that, So we need to accept, because we are talking about spiritual aspect of it. So what is the conclusion? Part 7 immerses us in the sense of Brahman as the absolute truth. So see that once again we are hearing Brahman is part of absolute truth. It articulates the absolute as a reality that exists independently, yet serves as the foundation of everything. See that? Let me repeat again. It exists independently, yet it serves as the foundation of everything. That Adharta Tattva supporting aspect, one of the 4 aspects of the Brahman is being mentioned here. The next juxtaposes, puts it side by side, Eastern and Western philosophical viewpoints on the absolute, positing that the Upanishads portray Brahman as both transcendent and immanent. So Brahman aspect, as it is in the spiritual world, it is there, and when it is on the material world, material platform. So that you need to comprehend that. Second aspect of conclusion, key versus illuminate a hierarchy of existence, elevating Brahman above the confines of material and mental constructs. The discussion emphasizes our human faculties, limitations, grasping the full nature of Brahman. So this is what is being said here actually, that since we have such a limited capacity, extremely limited capacity, with the spiritual aspect of Brahman is so unlimited, infinite. So there is no way ever we are going to comprehend unless and until we take support and through devotional service, bhaktya mam abhijanati, how to know that which is unknown, unknowable. That is in Bhagavad Gita we learn, right? How to know one which is unknowable. Krishna is unknowable. Only the unknowable decides to reveal himself, then we can accept. And he reveals himself through the Shastra, especially Bhagavatam and Upanishad, all these things, all this bona fide Shastra, then only we can learn. Because that, and nothing is kept secret, everything is being revealed there. Sometimes it is the clear way, sometimes in a hidden way. So that's why we need the help of a self-realized soul as our guru. So guru is in between. Philosophical significance, transcendence versus immanence. Again, that why I'm saying, keep repeating, that this concept must be crystal clear. It's going to come again and again, over and over. All the way when we go to the Vedanta Sutra, when I studied Vedanta Sutra, right around the about 10 or 20% of the way, right then I realized all this knowledge, prerequisite knowledge has to be there. Otherwise, you're never going to understand that. And that is why I designed this prerequisite courses, Otherwise, it's extremely difficult. Even though the commentary by Shri Baladev Vadyabhushan is so masterfully done, and no wonder it was dictated to him by the Supreme Lord himself. But it is that complicated, So here, I'll give one simple example. If you're trying to teach calculus to a third grader, how do you accept? You cannot accept that, right? That person must be prepared for that knowledge. So that's the reason why I'm trying to prepare you all guys with this prerequisite knowledge. Limits of knowledge. So see that? We have a limited capacity. But it is not impossible. By the Lord's grace, and if we make our own efforts, our efforts are counted. Krishna said to Arjuna, remember, I have prepared, I have already destroyed all your enemies. And the war is already going to be won. Nonetheless, you need to do your part because you are the warrior. But the difference now, before you were doing on your own for yourself, now you do it for me. That is the kind of mindset we ought to have. Then the knowledge will flow from the Supreme to us, even though we are limited capacity. Look at the Pandavas, only 7 Akshwani Sena. And the Kauravas had 11 Akshwani Sena. They're completely outsmarted, ranked, And yet, the Pandavas won the war because of the Lord's help, constant help. So that is the way we need to learn. No matter how difficult spiritual subject matter is there, but by His grace, and we attract His grace by our preparedness, by our determination. Like I always say, fire in the belly. You can defy the mind versus body. Mind is so strong, it can defy the limitation, physical and mental limitations of the body. And I'm the living example. I tell you, see what things can. It's all possible. Look at the daredevils, how they do that. So conclusion: recognizing the immanence of Brahman with all beings can transform our practical approach to ethics and interconnectedness. This word interconnections is going to come quite frequently. So this understanding encourages profound compassion and respect for all life forms. And third aspect, always consider humility. Humbleness should be there. Everything that we get, all the capability that we think we might have, is actually coming from the Supreme. If we are humble enough, He will keep on giving us. Brahmaji, when he was given the role of secondary creation, before he even attempted, he prayed to the Lord, please promise me that I will not get too proud. False pride doesn't develop in me. Before the 4 Chaturshloki Bhagavatam verses, that thing comes there in Bhagavatam. Note that. Okay, you want to take a few minutes break so that you can relax and we can continue? In 3 minutes break, okay? Any questions you might have? Can you grab a glass of water or something? Any pressing questions you might have? So far, what I said?
The prerequisites that you're saying, is it through the Brahma Jigyasa Brahmatvam, Brahmatattvam. So for Brahman, when we start doing jigyasa is naturally the curiosity that we have. Of course, I will not disturb in your class.
No, please go
I've
ahead.
been
Please go ahead.
I've been following that Brahma Sutra's Ramanujacharya's Sri Bhashyam. So I don't find any difference. That's what I'm just trying to recollect, finding it like Jagat Karanatva, Ishvara Tattva, Sarvabhyapi, Antaryami, Athartva. All these are the ones which we have been explaining. So
Yeah.
I was just thinking like it is Visishta Advaita, it is Ramanujacharya.
They're all similar.
Yes, yes. So it
Only
was
different
done.
emphasis and different aspect of is there. That's all.
Correct, correct. So I mean, I'm really truly enjoying that because it's much more deeper. I'm listening, and with all those evidences, with all those your PowerPoint and with your explanation. But what I hear in the morning, of course, I have all those notes also, and we are 700 people listening,
Oh
700.
boy, my God.
So
And
and
it starts at
I'm
4
not
o'clock in the morning, right? 4 o'clock in the morning.
4:15, yes. And I'm not supposed to be chanting any mantras. All that has
Uh,
been laid down.
no.
Chuddha Prakashika, it is all in Tamil. With the
Uh-huh.
Sanskrit, this thing, that we can read, but we are not
Yeah.
supposed to chant. Ladies are not
Oh,
supposed to chant. That's the
I
rule
see.
first they have said.
Because there is the time to absorb that material.
So I'm just listening to all this.
So Premaji,
That's,
you could be a great help to us when we start this Vedanta Sutras, You could be a
I
big help to
cannot,
us.
no, I'm enjoying it because it's a reinforcement for me.
Together we learn from each other, okay? Any
Sure.
other questions? Point. Thank you, Premaji.
Horizontally, no questions. Just, I think you're mentioning about the
We cannot hear you, Prabhuji. Can you keep this close?
Is it okay
Yeah,
now?
now it's better. Yeah.
Yeah. So what you were mentioning about the temporary in the ephemeral nature, I can just correlate it with Lord says in Bhagavad Gita. Dukkhala
Uh-huh.
na shashvata. Shashvat na shashvata. So if that's a proper analogy, like spiritual is shashvat, material is ashashvat.
Yeah.
And then we were also
Prem,
mentioning about the correlation between the energy and energetic within this field to have anything. How Srila Prabhupada
Premaji,
always.
Sanjeev Prabhuji just returned every year, I think once or twice a year, he, along with his Guru Brother, Guru Maharaj, and all his goddess and goddesses, they have this trip within India, different holy places they go. And of course, every day there must be this discourses must be going on. So we are getting the benefit. He just returned from there, such yatra. Sorry,
Very nice.
continue.
That's a great message. Yeah. Yeah, the other thing, what you were mentioning about the energy and the energetic. So Srila Prabhupada always gives this example of fire. Right? The fire
Uh-huh.
is then heat and light. These three things can be separated from heat, light. This sort of everything.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Okay, should we continue now? Haribol?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So now Brahman is not a demigod, Deva. Now this portion is, I'm sure it's very clear to everyone. Obviously, Devas are nowhere nearby. So in fact, they are the appointed administrators by the Supreme. So Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan, they cannot be like Devas. So I'm going to skip just very quickly the distinction between Brahman and the demigods. What are the chief distinctions? And this is given in Brihadaranyaka Upanishads. In its profound wisdom, delineates a clear distinction between Brahman, the ultimate reality, and the gods, relatively very limited capacity that govern various aspects of existence. Even the power to govern also comes from the absolute truth, the devas. While devas are indeed powerful entities compared to us, human beings, nevertheless, compared to the supreme, they are no match. They are merely manifestation of Brahman and cannot be equated with the supreme being. See that very clearly it's mentioned. Second aspect, emanation and creation. Again, very similar thing that we are talking about what we heard before. Transcendence and immanence. So here Maharaj quotes this dialogue taking place in this particular Upanishad. Between so many of the Upanishad teachings, there's a dialogue taking place. Different Upanishad, Katha Upanishad, Prashna Upanishad, and so on like that. Ajatshatru's metaphor comparing Brahman's relationship to living entities with that of a spider weaving its web. Now that analogy is given in what way? Let's hear that. So this spider weaving a web conveys a deep truth of all beings, pranas, the lokas, the devas, emerging from Brahman while retaining their unique identities. This vision fosters a non-dualistic understanding where everything is intricately interconnected, weaving harmonious tapestry of existence. So here, this see what does how does this a spider creates a web, right, from its mouth. So it's coming from inside, the web is created and then again grasped back again also in body like that. So the supreme being, Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, creates, maintains, and then withdraws back again, just like a spider weaving the web, emerges from Brahman while retaining their unique identities. So this vision fosters a non-dualistic understanding where everything is intricately interconnected. This term interconnection also we have been seeing quite often, repeatedly, weaving harmonious tapestry of existence. Furthermore, Yajnavalkya, this is one of the persons who were taking part in the discussion dialogue. Yajnavalkya exchange with Gargi reinforces this theme by tracing the origins of creation back to Brahman, highlighting that all that exists is rooted in the fabric of ultimate reality. So this kind of interconnectedness is constantly being presented there. The nature of truth, Satyam. Now, I already had told you the Maharaj dissects this word Satyam through Satyam, how the conscious entity Purusha and the unconscious entity Prakruta, they work together. They are interconnected. So that the quest for understanding Brahman is inextricably linked to Satya of truth. Now it's being explained now how Satyam works. The dialogue within the Upanishads. So just like in Bhagavatam, right? There's a dialogue taking place between Parishad Maharaj asking questions, Sukadeva Goswami answering, and so many dialogues are there. Dialogues within dialogues are there, right? So here also like that. Certain Upanishads, not all, within the Upanishads underscores the profound knowledge. So this questioning, answering, so much information is exchanged. In fact, we learn more as like in our recap session, right? So more than the lecture itself. So that's why I always encourage you to ask questions, because more things comes out. Not only you learn, but I also learn. The person who is giving a class, he gets to learn from the questions being asked. A paramount for spiritual fulfillment. New aspects gets revealed in question answer sessions. Narada's transformative journey. So anytime a person who gives a class, he may have prepared a lot more. In fact, probably less than 30-40% actually presents than what he prepared for it. But in question answer session, more thing you can extract out from the person who is giving class, the questions you ask. And some of the things that he may not have thought, the lecturer himself, he learns when somebody asks that question and he's forced to think. So this is the Satyam aspect here also. Showcases the enlightening power of grasping the deeper existential truth. The metamorphosis spies seekers and what is the word metamorphosis? Transformation. Just like how the butterfly comes out, that's why a tremendous transformation takes place in the question and answer session. It inspires seekers and leads to the genuine bliss, ananda, found only in the infinite essence of Brahman, as we learned from the very beginning, right? Brahman gives the ananda aspect, bliss aspect, is so incredible to such a magnitude that it's beyond our perception, beyond our imagination. Brahman is not a demigod. Okay, we covered this thing. I think not much. Let's read just the conclusion first. In part 8, the engaging dialogue among sages in the seeker's spotlight the unique nature of Brahman as distinct from demigods and all the other beings. So, demigods, devas, there's no way any comparison is there with the Brahman, Paramatma, because in their heart is also Paramatma is there actually. All living beings, all living beings on material platform, Paramatma is there. And all other things. The engages between Shatru and Gargya remind us that while all entities are emanations of Brahman, they do not equate to Brahman himself. Yajnavalkya is one of the dialogue taking place in that, Conversation dig into the elemental origin of creation, reinforcing that everything emerges from the divine fabric of Brahman. So again, a limited capacity of even the devas, nowhere compared to that, compared to Brahman. Narada's dialogue with Sanat Kumara. Actually, in Bhagavatam also, we see this dialogue taking place always. Actually, Narada asking question and the Kumaras answering his questions, shifts focus to the significance of Satyam on the spiritual journey, emphasizing that authentic bliss is discovered in the infinite rather than through transient pleasures offered by demigods. See that. Let me read again. This is really notable things. Narada's dialogue with Sanat Kumara shifts focus to the significance of Satyam. So in this dialogue also taking place, Narada and Sanat Kumara's, the dialogue is taking place on the subject matter of Satyam, truth, on the spiritual journey, emphasizing that authentic bliss is discovered in the infinite rather than through transient pleasure. So see that infinite pleasure you get out of that when this dialogue taking place on the spiritual matter. And the spiritual matter is Satyam is that on that aspect of it we are talking about, offered by demigods. The teachings highlight the necessity of faith, mindful practice, and the pursuit of deeper truth. So this is what three aspects of it you need to keep in mind when you want to ask questions. The person who is going to try to answer that questions, these three aspects. Remember that. What are the three aspects? The necessity of faith. Okay, faith aspect. What the person is giving based on what Shastra he learned, and he's imparting that knowledge to his listeners. So here Kumaras are great authority. In fact, Kumara Sampradaya is there. One of the four Sampradayas is Kumara Sampradaya. The mindful practice. That's why I also keep you right. Before you attend the class, at least become familiarized with my slides. Then automatically questions will pop up in your mind. Okay? Very probing questions that generates additional knowledge comes out. So that's why this mental practice must be there. So before the class, you should read something about the subject matter, and after the class, immediately within 24 hours to 24 to 48 hours, you should really do the called manana, gargitation, then you'll remember, your mind will store it in a long-term memory. Otherwise, it'll be a short-term memory, it'll go away. These three aspects are extremely important. Before the class, during the class, and after the class. The pursuit of deeper truth, especially when you are attempting to learn complex philosophy like this, these three things must be done. Remember I told you that I've been learning Sanskrit. It's a very difficult language, especially grammar. So many things you need to memorize. Extremely difficult. So after the class, you have to find time. So even though I work 16, 18 hours a day, 16 to 18 hours a day, I still struggle. I'm struggling to find time to prepare my Sanskrit. Philosophical significance. Okay, I better hurry up now. Now, only one more part remaining. The discussion in this segment implored leaders to reflect on the nature of reality, because I need to give 30 minutes to the person who is going to do the recapping before we open up. After 30 minutes, we'll open up for the general discussion. So they advocated transformation from polytheistic view of divinity to a monotheistic understanding. See that what is the difference between polytheistic and monotheistic? Anybody? Monotheistic means one aspect of the god, right? Polytheistic means multiple. So here devas like polytheistic, Uh, we we don't we should never think devas are supreme. Devas are great, very pious beings, and they are the servants, and their power comes from the supreme. That we always need to remember that. They advocate for a transformation from a polytheistic view of divinity to a monotheistic understanding in which Brahman serves as the singular source of all existence. So this is particular monotheistic means Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, they are the supreme entities. Nobody, nothing comes superior to them or equal to them, equal to that entity. The focus on Satyam as the ultimate objective. So Satyam, as we on a human level, we have a very limited capacity to grasp what is truth is concerned about it. Truth, what truth constitute, very limited understanding we have. Here, much deeper aspect of Satyam is being explained to us as the ultimate objective and the interplay between knowledge, meditation, and bliss. The Satyam can lead all these three aspects of it, provide an enriching philosophical framework for comprehending human existence and purpose. So this is the point. Why are we here? For what purpose we are here? Not trying to fulfill the unfulfilled desires from previous life. Is much more than the biggest aspect. How to get out of this vicious cycle of samsara. That is what we should be after. That. So that is what is actually subtly being given to us subtly. And the Satyam aspect of it, the three aspect, what is the interplay between knowledge, meditation, and bliss? And spiritual aspect is never a chore. I told you many times before. You never get tired. And more you become inquisitive, more and more you are having thirst. The Lord is going to constantly give the flow of knowledge within you. And this is personally, I'm giving you my own experience. When I prepare my PowerPoints, where from this comes, sometimes my mind start boggling up, how is it coming to? I sometimes I amaze myself, how it's coming, because it's being given to me. It's just incredible. And it doesn't come all the time. When it comes, you have to grab it. It doesn't come all the time. This part of the Upanishad serves as the clarion. What is clarion? Word clarion. Anybody know? Clarion is a call that's so important. important call comes, immediately you must respond. So Upanishad is a clarion call. So it's a very important call coming from Upanishads. That's what it is. For those on a spiritual quest, urging them to seek profound truth that lie beyond superficial appearance. So this call is not just important call, not in terms of importance. It's a life-saving important call. If you don't pay attention to it, it could be threatening the very existence. That kind of call, when you say, it's called clarion call. And to deepen their understanding, so it's like when there's a fire, you call fire brigade. So that kind of call we are talking about. The relationship with the Supreme. Okay, the last part, in just less than 5 minutes, I'll finish. Definition and terminology. So again, Rashinamata, you see the concept. Now we are this last part, ninth part, we are talking about that the concept of Jivatman and the interrelationship with Brahman. So the word Jivatman is not my word, okay? And again, to facilitate clear understanding, the difference between Jiva, Atma. Atman is a soul, pure soul, okay? When Atman is embodied by this physical body, then it's called Jiva. Jiva Atman, that's what's called Jivatman. Jivatman, this term embodies the individual Atman, highlighting its uniqueness in a living entity. Atman, that this can signify either the individual soul, Atman. The very first thing I copied that from the Maharaj article is being explained this ninth part in much greater detail. So Ashtamata, you read this part, okay, after the class. Then you'll get a clear concept why we are using the word Jivatman, the embodied soul. Atman could be individual Atma or Paramatma. Okay. So Jivatma, who has accepted this physical body, that is called Jivatman. And we saw that, right? Jivas, when accept physical body, then he is able to eat, drink, so on like that. But Atma doesn't need all these things. So there's a big difference. Atma and Jivatma. Atman, they can signify either the individual soul or the universal soul, Paramatma, emphasizing dual aspect of its existence. Purusha, another term that can refer to either Jivatman or Paramatman. So in our, when we say the Purusha and Prakriti both, right? We have in our, we are the Jivatma is the Purusha, the conscious entity, and the physical body is the unconscious entity. Only because the soul gives the consciousness to that body, the living symptoms. Okay. So when the soul lives, the same body is there, but it's dead body, no consciousness. So this is what the Purusha, a limited capacity, the individual Purusha we have, a limited control over body. But the Paramatma is also a Purusha, but he is the Vishesh Purusha, beyond time and space. And he, even the whatever the Purusha, ordinary Purusha can do that, whatever the little capacity he has, that also comes from the Supreme Purusha, Paramatman. Even the consciousness actually comes through Paramatman. You need to remember that. Of course, the Mayavadis, they don't distinguish between ordinary Atma and Paramatma. They think both are same. When they incredibly, they say Brahman comes under the influence of Maya, then becomes Jiva Tattva, and same Jiva Tattva when becomes Jnana, getting the Jnana from the Vedanta Sutra, then returns back to being Brahman. Incredible. Okay, I think it's over now. Let's see. So we take a discussion first before we do the recapping of the previous week, Sharad Prabhuji? Or whatever you want to do. Sharad Prabhuji, we can.
Hare Krishna.
We can have the recap, Then
Okay, all right, fine. Who is going to do recapping yesterday's session?
Sanjeev Prabhuji is doing the recap.
Okay, Sanjeev Prabhuji. So
So
leave
we
some
will do
time.
the question after recap.
So we are almost an hour, right? So half an hour you can do that recapping, and remaining half hour we can do the discussion. Is that correct? Sure.
Yes,
I
yes.
was thinking, do you want to do the question answer first? Whatever is okay.
No, recap now, and after that question answer session.
Okay. Just 1 minute, I will switch to the laptop. To share the screen.
Premaji may have to leave. Premaji, are you there? Premaji, your timing. I know you are. Your time. I need to be conscious about your time.
No, not at all.
You.
I'm enjoying thoroughly. No problem. Don't mind.
But you, I know you have limited time, and I don't want to text you. Already, everybody, we keep exchanging text messages all the time, and you know my habit, typing long messages. And Mataji, Premaji is so considerate.
No, I see. I always give preferences and priorities. Krishna Bhakti, Prema Bhakti is something very different than, I need to give that time. It is not my time, it is Krishna's time.
Premaji, we are talking about Krishna Prema, and you came in my life. Name Premaji. Okay, sorry. Okay,
Hare Krishna.
Sanjeevji, go ahead.
Charu Prabhuji, I have just small question because Prema Mataji may leave. Can I ask one question to her?
Please.
Okay, because she may leave. She may not remain for, I don't know. So, Mataji, just now you mentioned right in the beginning, there are some mantras, ladies, women are not supposed to chant. And I just listen. Okay, so you don't not supposed to chant. You just listen because you are at that level. You understand everything. You understand Jiva is neither man or not woman.
Correct.
All these things. With that all, how you view that, and you keep quiet also, right? It may be a strong word that I'm coming from you, but you are the right source that we can understand.
Yeah. That's a very good question. Purusha Suktam, Sri Suktam, all are from the Veda. All 3-4 Vedas, all my husband chants, I listen. Why it is? Because it does affect our emotions. It does affect, if I'm going to say it in that vibrant situation, it will affect my body because my shariram is still in the material world, right? So my reproductive health, my senses, my emotions, if I really chant in that vibrant stage, my empathizing with the children, giving, preparing food for Krishna, preparing for the Aradhana, Archana, it's a very different issue. So those are the concerns which our rishis and munis have said that this is what Stree should not. So I see many of them chanting in the temple, but it has an effect. I'm a yoga teacher too, so I know what it is. Some of the things we are not supposed to do. So I don't chant. I do chant Lakshmi Sahasranamam Sri Suktam. My husband chants Purusha Suktam, which I don't. I just listen. I know the meaning, I know everything. Out of 700, 350 are women in that group in Brahma Sutra, what we are listening, Vyasas. But when the Guru says, when the Acharya says, you're not supposed to be chanting, even listening during Ramanujacharya, it was not allowed. But now he says it's all like online, and he has not put it in the YouTube. He says, no, we are not supposed to. Anyway, so what I'm saying is it does affect. Like they go to Sabarimala, why not? They go to this place, that place. There are certain restrictions which we need to follow. There is some reason for it. But I see personally, psychologically, emotionally, it does affect our body. After all, body, Atma doesn't. Atma is Purusha and Prakriti, everything is the same. But my Shariram is, after all, it is living here, no? It does affect. I have personally
So
experienced
wonderful
that.
answer. So wonderful.
Thank you, Mataji.
So wonderful.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
In India, there's so much contradiction going on actually on these particular topics. Yeah. So you answered very wonderfully, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. Hari Bol.
Thank you, Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. You're all in a nice
I
with
never heard this kind of
right.
answer, this level of in-depth answer, Mataji. Thank you very much. Even I'm
Thank you.
looking answer for this kind of thing. Thank you.
Prabhaji, again, feel free if you must leave, okay?
Yeah. No problem.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Sanjay
Yeah,
Prabhuji, go
Hare
ahead.
Krishna. Yeah, may I go ahead? Okay, this is
Yeah.
a recap of lesson one. Am I audible, Prabhu?
Yes, yes.
Yes, good. Thank you. So this is a recap of lesson one of this course, which was what the Upanishad teach. It is essay written in 16 parts, as Prabhuji said, by His Holiness Suhotra. So yesterday, Prabhuji walked us through all these 16 parts on a very high level, which I would not go through all of them. We will touch briefly the important aspect through, as Prabhuji said, through some important and possibly probing questions, so that it is a revision and it stays with us. Okay. So going to the next slide. Okay. So this is the structure of the four lessons upcoming. Yesterday, what we covered was essence of Brahman, and that is about deepening our understanding of the nature significance of Brahman in Upanishadic philosophy, which is what Prabhuji touched today as well. The two important words, transcendence and eminence, that come to my mind as soon as I read this now. But let's start through the first question for all of you. We'll go through this in a question and answer format. The first question for all of you is, what are the Upanishads? So, who would like to take that? What are the Upanishads and what are the four aspects, in your opinion? Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhu,
Hare
yes.
Krishna
Go ahead.
Prabhuji.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, Yeah. So Upanishad as is a defined here. Upanishad. That means that truth knowledge, which is a Shruti, not a Smriti, which you are hearing by sitting with your superior or your guru and
Right.
understanding the transcendence or Vedas. That is the meaning of that. So in that the flow, as Prabhuji mentioned very nicely, flow is from higher to lower. So you are submissively listening to him, understanding that without any first without any question. So that is all about Upanishad, and it describes Vedas difficult to understand, but when you understand Upanishad with a more detailed discussion, we can understand real Vedas. And as we saw that Vedas got different parts, different puja parts. One of them is Upanishad, and which is a very important because it leads us to sutras. That's what we understand. Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Correct. Thank you, Prabhu. And then you actually touched my second question. Why are they are part of Veda, but why are they considered as the most essential part? What is the key importance here?
Because it connects with the Brahman Prakriti and Jiva. It connects and it
That is true.
emphasizes for us
That is true.
and gives also how Ishwar, all those things.
Yes, that is true. The what I was trying to highlight in my view is because they present a final philosophical conclusion of explaining the Brahman, which is Vedanta. That is the key. So they are deemed essential to Vedanta, as that's also highlighted by Prabhupada. But yes, Prabhu, you're right. Thank you, Prabhu. So there have been so many acharyas, Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, and others who have given us the significance of the Upanishad. And then in terms of numbers, as Prabhuji explained, there are 108 Upanishad. 14 of them are primary, and they are all listed here, right? So one more question on this, which is very important, is what is the meaning of Janmadi Asya Yata? It's written here.
The source
Yeah.
from which it comes, everything comes.
Yes. Everything emanates
Janmadi,
from.
here Janmadi is creation. It's in the context of material creation, maintenance, and dissolution. These three aspects, cosmic creation, that is what being referred to here.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it is one of the also sutras. Vedanta Sutra,
Vedanta
and
Sutra,
that is
yes.
what it starts creation maintenance as Prabhuji
Is
mentioned.
Bhagavatam first canto, first chapter,
Yeah.
first verse is right, begins with this.
Yes, yes, Prabhu, yes. And then in Bhagavad Gita also, well, not just related to material, but both spiritual and material, we have the verse. So now Raksha Mataji is here, our verse expert. If you can, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo, right? So everything emanates from me, spiritual or material. Okay.
That's
Okay,
one of the
so I think,
Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita, right?
Yes, Prabhuji. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarva pravartate iti mate bhajanti mam buddha bhav sammanhita.
okay, good. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, you are so wonderful. Okay, so we have this basic understanding and connect. Now go to the next slide. Uh, slide 4 here, it's explaining about the Brahman, the connectivity or the link between Brahman and Atman, the philosophical discourse, and the means of attaining Brahman, right? I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Brahman, right? Yesterday, Prabhuji taught us. So, what are the three characteristics of Brahman? We covered that today also. Oh, sorry. That's for next slide. What is the relation between Brahman and Atman as described here? If someone can help summarize that. What is the relation between the Brahman and the Atman?
Hare Krishna.
Is our
Okay, Hare Krishna. I'll try to explain my own words, Prabhuji. Okay, if that is fine. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes,
please.
Prabhu, yes.
That is
Okay.
preferable.
Okay. If I understand correctly from yesterday's session and today's session, it is like Atma is of Brahman. Okay. It is controlled by Brahman. Okay. It is not exactly Brahman. Okay. That is the relation between Brahman and Atma. I am an Atma. Yeah, I'm an Atma.
I am
Okay.
Brahmasmi. Remember? Say
I
Aham
am
Brahmasmi.
Aham Brahmasmi. Doesn't mean that I am Brahman. Okay.
No, it's
I
a
am
tiniest part. Tiniest part.
the tiny part. I am part of Brahman. Okay. Or in another way, as Srila Prabhupada says, I am part and parcel, okay, of the Brahman. Okay. So that is how I understand Prabhuji. Okay.
Correct,
Overall,
Prabhu.
as a summary. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So, similar what we have heard from Prabhupada also, that we are part and parcel, neither equal nor more, nor merge into the Brahman. That is the
Brahman.
key important part, that we are
Yeah.
the
Correct.
part and parcel, and the relation is that mostly of a servitor and servitude, right? So we are the,
Prabhuji, one more point is
yes,
here.
yes, Mataji.
Qualitatively we are equal, but quantitatively not.
Correct, correct. And example Srila Prabhupada gives many times is like seed drop from the ocean water, or like part of gold from a gold mine, same quality but the quantity is different. And then the next question I have is, how is bhakti important in realizing Brahman? There is a high emphasis of bhakti, and we being Gaudiya Vaishnavas, like or part of Srila Prabhupada's army, we should understand that and connect that as well. Can someone tell? It's probably not on the slide, so just
Hare Krishna
yes,
Prabhuji,
yes,
Bhakti gives a deeper understanding
correct.
regarding the relationship with Brahman.
Mm, correct. Which,
Hare
if I
Krishna.
link to, yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. See, why we need to understand all these particular concepts? I'll try to give in my own words, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
See, we all talk about Vishnu, Krishna is in personal form. Okay, we're happy with that and all that leelas. But Upanishads more talk about the Brahman. The reason is Upanishads wants to tell how great it is, how infinite it is, how limitless it is. Yeah. So in that way, we are trying to understand the Brahman. Yeah.
Correct, Prabhu. Correct.
Yeah.
So, what you highlighted is also important aspect. Like Prabhupada always says that we say God is great, but how is God great? So
Yeah.
that is
Exactly.
explained for this, right?
Exactly. That is
Prabhuji,
Brahman.
Second thing that, yes, Mataji, yes, please.
by doing bhakti, we can understand the opulence of Lord. And by doing very sincere bhakti, we can experience Madhurima also of Lord.
Yes, Mataji,
Yeah.
wonderful. But when you
But one more
reply to
point I would
this,
like to mention,
Raksha
Prabhu.
Mataji,
Okay.
one thing comes to my mind. Mataji, please give me the verse for this. You have verse in 10th chapter Bhagavad Gita. which
We
says
are,
if we do
तेषां सततयुक्तानां
yes,
भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं
dadami buddhi yogam.
समयेन
Yes,
समयेन माम्
yes,
उपयान्.
yes, Mataji. Yes, that is the main verse. Yes, thank you, Mataji. So wonderful. Sorry, Prasad Prabhu, please say that.
Okay, nothing, Prabhu. Actually, before this yesterday's and today's session, I used to have a big confusion on okay why this Brahman concept is being introduced to all of us when Ishtu is already in personal. Okay, so with sessions and slides of Char Prabhuji's, what I understand is uh, we need to understand the reason for that is, as you clearly mentioned, we need to understand God is great, but he is great in terms of what? Okay.
How is
So
it?
in that way, I'm trying to understand in a little way. Yeah. So
So
he's
I was
infinite.
the
Yeah.
very good question, Prabhu, and I was reading on this as well. And one of the points that struck me among why this sort of study is there, right?
Hmm.
Prabhuji took us to the classes in that Shad Darshana. There is the Vaisheshika, Nyaya, so many philosophy. There is Dvaita, Advaita. So
Yeah.
people think mostly the foreign people they criticize the Indian culture and even the modern one. They say that we have this what do you call blind belief, right? No, it is not a blind belief. Please look into this. The amount of knowledge, the amount of logic, the depth of logic that is being discussed here, right? I have not seen anywhere in no grammar of the like we've gone through English grammar and all, but look at the examples, the analogy, the graphical way, and all. So it is not a blind belief here. There is a very substantial and progressive way of how we can reach to Bhagavan, right? So for those who already have the faith and devotion, okay, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, everything is there. For those who cannot and want to go through this way, here it is, right? So that's one thing that struck me as well, Prabhu. But thank you for bringing that up. Okay, and then this, as I was reading through, just quickly, I know I have just 12 minutes more. As I was reading through, this also connects us to Sambandha Gyan, right? All of this is how does bhakti connects here through the sambandh gyan. Unless we have the sambandh gyan, which is here partly mentioned that we are part and parcel, how we are connected and all that example, then we will not be able to relish or go into the deeper aspects or practice it properly, as they say. Yeah. Okay, then we go to the next one. Mm. This again we just covered it, emphasis on devotion, unity of existence, the role of the acharyas. So through this, the Upanishad explain also the point of unity within diversity. We just touched base on this. There is so many diverse opinions and so much culture, but they all unite on one aspect of Brahman, which was covered today also by Prabhuji, and that's in the next slide. I think here they all unite on the one aspects, with a few aspects here. These five aspects of the Brahman, all the different sampradaya and philosophy, these five they conclude Advaita, Shuddha Advaita, Vishishta Advaita, Advaita, Dvaita Advaita, and our Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. So they all conclude on one thing, which is, or they all agree on one these things: nature of Brahman, nature of individual Jivatma, and relation to Brahman, origin and development, of the universe and its relation to Brahman, and the means of attaining Brahman, and the nature of the supreme goal of life, which is what we chant every day. Our supreme goal or our final goal is Krishna Prem, and that's what we pray to Mother Tulsi and in our prayers to help us attain that. All the Vaishnavas. Okay. Then comes the characteristics of Brahman. So this one, okay, let's open this up. This was covered today as well. What are the three characteristics of Brahman as per Taittiriya Upanishad?
Taittiriya.
Hare Krishna. Who would like to take that?
Satyam,
Satyam,
Jnanam, and
Jnanam.
Anantam.
Yes. Satyam,
Go
Jnanam,
ahead.
Anantam.
Go ahead.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. And then this was explained in detail today, so we'll leave that for the next week recap session. Then the Pancha Kosha, the five koshas, the Pancha Koshas are like Pranmaya, Annamaya, and the final is Anandamaya.
Annamay, Pranmay, Manomay,
Yes.
Manomay,
Vijnanamay.
Vijnanmay, and
Vijnanmay,
Premamay. What you call Anandamay?
Anand.
Anandamay.
Anandamay.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
here
So
is
that's the final.
the fifth, the final course that is being emphasized here.
Yeah. So these are the 5 sheets or the 5 layers. We are here studying the 5th layer. Okay. And then this again, significance of ras, that is the flavor, purity, and Brahman as a source. We covered that. So I will skip that part in the interest of time. And then here again we touched on this. This is a further explanation which Prabhuji walked us through
Prabhuji,
the.
I have just small question here.
Yes, Prabhu.
The Satya, Satchit Anand, Satya and Satyam, is it the same word? Satchit Anand is a Sat, right? Aspect, that
Satchidananda,
eternity.
the Sat and Satyam different here in the sense. The Satchidananda, the Sat is used as the eternity.
Okay.
And Satyam we are talking about here
And
is a little bit different aspect.
truth. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
No, Sat, as I defined, remember Satyam, Sat, Ti, Yam. Sat is a conscious entity. Ti, unconscious, that is Sapurusha and Prakriti, and Yam, that is uniting. So uniting both conscious entity and the unconscious Prakriti unity together. That is Satyam, how it's defined by Surat Swami Maharaj.
That is also Ishwar aspect or Paramatma aspect or
of
Brahman
course,
aspect,
Brahman
basically.
aspect is one of the characteristic Swarup Lakshana of Brahman.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Yes, so. And then continuing further here, this I found it very important. Can someone explain me or try to understand what does, when we say Brahman as Akshara, what does that mean?
It cannot be destroyed. It is imperishable.
Correct, correct. And that's what we touched
Akshara
today
means
also.
perishable. Akshara means opposite of it.
Yeah.
And which is what we touched today also, Shashvat and Ashashvat. So the material body is perishable, but Brahman, the spiritual part, the Lord, and we actually as the Jiva or the Atman, right? We are not imperishable. That is what the basic teaching in come in Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 also. Krishna starts with that.
Pardon me, Sanjay, here we have to make one distinction. Everybody should understand.
Yes,
material world is perishable, but material nature is eternal. Okay.
Material natures.
Wow. Wonderful point, Prabhuji, Charuji. Such a small
Bhagavad Gita also we learned that material nature is eternal.
Material nature is eternal.
So, Prabhuji, when you say, when you say
Alright.
material nature is eternal, are you talking about that not Mahatattva Pradhan is eternal? Are you saying that? Yeah, because at the end,
Pradhan
everything merged with it.
The Pradhan and Mahatva is one and the same, except the three modes that are active in Mahat Tattva, and in Pradhana they are coming into the any kind of a unstable situation. It means in a trance way,
Correct, but you see that eternity we are talking about here, Akshara, So in that eternity is the Pradhan. Mahatattva, it's a temporary, right? It comes to existence and it also goes back. So it is not permanent staying.
It's a transformation takes place. It's eternal. Both Pradhan and Prakriti is Mahatattva is there, but their transformation takes place in the cosmic creation. It becomes Mahatattva, but when it goes stable, then it remains as Pradhana. So both are. It is eternal. It just transformation takes place.
So when you say nature means what we understand, Prabhuji, because I think other may be having the same question because you raise very nice thing.
Yes, Hare Krishna Bhaiji, a difference between material nature and material.
Yeah, correct.
See how material nature is permanent or eternal. It appears and disappears. It is there, like the Lord appears and disappears from the here. That means it does not mean that he is not existing. Like the sun, after sunset, We cannot see the sun. It doesn't mean the sun is not existing at that time.
This comes in material nature. Example of sun comes in material nature.
The sun is given just an example.
It
Sun
is
is not eternal. Sun has a beginning, and dead star called neutron star. So when its energy, the hydrogen, it unites with the hydrogen. So he just gave an analogy for that, but he didn't say the sun is eternal.
because anything which is part of the Supreme Lord has to be eternal.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it makes sense. Thank you, Prabhuji, because I was also, grappling with this idea. So I think some place we saw that Prakriti, Jiva and Ishwar, they are eternal. So from Ishwara, Jiva is coming, Jiva is eternal,
Yeah.
and Prakriti is also coming from me, eternal. Yes.
Prabhuji, five subject matter of Bhagavad Gita also says
Yeah,
only karma
exactly.
is changeable, or other four elements like God, Prakriti, time, and Jiva, all are eternal.
That's exactly in Bhagavad Gita we learned that.
Yes,
Except the
Prabhuji.
karma.
Five,
Right? Except the
except
karma.
karma, everything is eternal.
Yeah. But now people sometimes misconstrue material nature is like material world. There's a subtle difference between them. Okay.
Mataji, what did you say? Karma is? What did you say last sentence? Karma
Karma
is?
is
Karma is
not eternal.
changeable. We can change our
Changeable.
karma.
Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Remaining four will not change. That's what it said. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. But remaining four, okay. Got it. Prakriti is part of material nature, but still it is not changeable, you said.
So
Okay.
Prakriti is not Prakriti is material nature.
Prakriti is material
Prakriti is
nature.
also part of Lord only.
It's okay. Continue, son. Sanjay, we are wasting time.
Thing we'll come back to that. The next section is again very important one, which is about the concept of Antaryami. So, why is Brahman referred to as Antaryami, or what is the meaning of Antaryami? Anybody wants to? What is the meaning of Brahman as Antaryami? Anybody would like to?
Inner controller of the body. Our inner controller, which resides.
All knower
within.
Antarya means Paramatma.
All knower aspect. He knows omniscience.
Paramatma aspect is
Yes,
Antarya.
Paramatma only. I was telling
Yes.
that only. Paramatma, yeah. And he knows everything.
All knower, yes. It's not just in our body, but in another jiva, what is going on, he knows that. Inner control of the universe also. And then, is this Antaryami different from Jivatma? Is there a difference between Antaryami and the Jivatma?
Antaryami is superior. Antaryami is controller, and that Jivatma is the part and parcel, we can say.
Correct.
Is,
Yes, Mataji. So that is
Ansh,
okay.
part
See,
of
there is a difference. There is a huge difference. They can
Yes.
never be one. They are different in their own aspects. Antaryami is the Lord or Krishna in his feature who knows everything. And then Jivatma or Jiva is a part and parcel depending on their existence. Okay,
प्रभु जी यहाँ पे एक पॉइंट आता है कि जीवात्मा जो है वो सिर्फ अपने बॉडी के अंदर जो चल रहा है वो समझ सकता है, मगर जो परमात्मा है इनकम। हाँ प्रभु जी, और परमात्मा जो है वो सारे जीवों के बारे में समझ सकते हैं, सब कुछ अंतर्यामी है।
13th chapter we talks about right? Kshatragna.
Yes, प्रभु जी।
Correct, Prabhu. And with that, I complete the recap. So that was.
So we can do the questions for the today's session.
Yes.
Any questions you may have today, today's class? I'm sure a lot of questions might be there.
Prabhuji, I have from yesterday and today I was hearing. Please clarify my understanding. Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. I'm going back because that's the essence of that. So as we understand, Brahman participate in the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the universe, plus all other attributes we saw. Okay, so that is the impersonal aspects of Lord. Is that the understand? That is what Paramatma, as you mentioned, that he is the Paramatma is sitting in everybody's heart. He guides us. He inquires, right? He guides us. That Paramatma, us within, and Bhagwan aspect is that where we build a relation, loving relation, or the rasas come into picture. Is but all three are same, but different aspect. Is the general understanding, Prabhuji?
There's a close interrelationship there. You cannot separate one from other. They are one entity in absolute truth. That in three aspects you can you can perceive it. This one. But Upanishad mainly talks about Brahman. But later on we'll hear the same Upanishads also will take, just like we are coming across, Brahman also acting as Antaryami. Antaryami means the super soul, Paramatman aspect of it. Okay? But later on we'll see when Bhagwan aspect also will come into play.
Okay, Prabhuji, changing. I understand. Thank you.
One question, Prabhu.
It is actually how we want to perceive. I will give a very mundane example that will explain how what Prabhuji said, all the three things, they are the same. Like say, you are seeing a mountain from very long distance. How it looks? It may look it is a blackish feature. There, it has got a peak and both sides it is going down. And you go some distance nearer, then you can see the trees and other things. And once you are on the mountain, you will see each and every feature very, very clearly. That means it is the same thing, but the vision, the perspective, the perspective is different.
Perception. Yeah, he's absolutely right. It's a perception we are talking about, But Upanishad largely, by and large, it talks about Brahman aspect of it. But just today only we saw the example. In Antaryami role, then that is clearly a personal aspect of it, not just impersonal aspect. Because we know Antaryami is a Kshivadakshay Vishnu form, expansion of that.
प्रभु जी एक वंडरफुल एग्जांपल इज देयर लाइक ग्रीन कोकोनट है उनके तीन लेयर्स है एक बाहर का जो है वो ग्रीन है जो अंदर का वो ब्राउन है और अंदर जो पानी है लाइक ब्रह्मन परमात्मा और आत्मा अरे भगवान ऐसे भी हम समझ सकते कि एक ही कोकोनट है मगर तीन लेयर्स है उसमें
So water is like a Bhagavan.
Yes, Prabhuji. All rasa.
And outside side, what you see is like a Brahman. Inside, what you see is like a Paramatma, like a little bit of the actual coconut you will see, inside white color. Yeah. Is that comparison, Mataji?
It's kind of a superficial, I think, analogy is there. There's a superficial energy, because water cannot be converted into outer shell and things like here the interconnection, we can see that interconversion. All three playing each other's role, here we are seeing. Okay, any more questions other than that?
One generic question, Prabhuji. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any reason why Upanishads talk so much about Brahman and not about the personal form of Bhagavan? Is there any reason?
We'll say some that out of the 14 Upanishads that specially mentioned is from that point of view, actually. Bhagwan aspect, it comes into that 14 Upanishads, But by and large, 108 Upanishads, they don't talk about other aspect of it,
Is this like introduction kind of thing?
So
First
because remember, it's a Jnana from the Jnana platform.
Okay. Study by the Jnanis, Prabhuji, Jnani Marga.
Yes, Upanishad is a Jnana portion of it. And that is, excuse me, go ahead, continue. I've got an important call here.
Okay, Prabhu.
एंड प्रभु जी शरद प्रभु जी जो परमात्मा को जो मेडिटेट करते हैं वो योगी राइट प्रभु जी
यस यस
एंड भगवान को जो भक्त है वो भक्त
भक्त
तो तीन पांच ओके ओके प्रभु
Jnani, yogi, and
हाँ.
the devotee.
So Gyani focus on Paramatma, meditate on.
Because
Vaishnavas on Bhagwan.
Gyan talk on more on philosophical point of view,
Yes.
Sanjay Prabhuji, please continue. Acha, or you have finished. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu, I'm
Okay,
done. We did the revision. Now
any
for today's.
other question on today's class? We have got a lot of time. Then let me explain some of the things which we have already seen in detail, but that that should be part of us only. Like everywhere, we have been talking about Saguna and Nirguna. Now, as you know, Saguna is with qualities and Nirguna is without qualities. This is what is appearing in the various scriptures, and these are very important words to understand. Saguna does not imply that the Lord becomes subject to the laws of material nature when he appears. Although he has perceivable qualities and he appears to be in the material form. Like when Krishna appeared here about 5,000 years back, though he was looking just like another human being, but his construction, he was made of not material things, but everything was spiritual. Like we have got our arteries, veins, blood, and all that, which are all material, but the Lord's everything is spiritual. And for him, there is no difference between material and spiritual energies because he is the source of all the energies. And as the controller of all energies, he cannot at any time under the influence of the matter always. The material energy works according to his direction. Therefore, he can use that energy for his purpose without ever being influenced by any of the qualities of that energy. And the Lord does not become a formless entity at any one time because ultimately he is the eternal form, the primeval form, and his impersonal aspect or Brahman effulgence is but the glow of his personal rays, just as the sun's rays are glow of the sun god. That is the sun rays, that is not the sun. But these jnanis, they do not go beyond that. They do not know that if you go beyond these rays, then there will be the Supreme Lord, and he has got so many qualities. Then we were talking about Sanat Kumara and Narada's discussion, which is given in the Chandogya Upanishad. Narada Muni, he tells Sanat Kumara that he has studied all the Vedas, all the four Vedas, and he knows the fifth Veda, that is the Puranas, the Itihas, everything. He knows everything. He has got the knowledge of the demigods, he got the knowledge of the rituals, the heavenly bodies, everything. But still he is suffering from ignorance. He wanted to clear about this from Sanat Kumara. And Sanat Kumara then what he says, he proposes a series of meditations by which Narada will be able to know Brahman. And the first meditation is upon the the name of the Lord that Narada studied in all the scriptures. And from the name arise the meditation of speech, then the mind, then the strength, then food, water, like this. and all these represent the various demigods. And Sanat Kumara then connects each one of them to a particular success in karma and jnana. And at the end, he tells the Sanat Kumara raises the question of the appropriate subject that he should speak about the reality or patibadi. Like this, all these discussions that go on, and very clearly we heard the definition of Jiva and Jivatma. Now we should not have any confusion about any of these. And regarding this, we have given earlier also many examples. The famous example from the Mundaka Upanishad and the Svetasvatara Upanishad, the two birds sitting on the same tree. One is eating the fruits, who is the Jivatma, the individual atomic soul, and the other is just looking at it. He is not eating the fruit, and that is the Paramatma. That's why the Paramatma is within us. Always he is looking at us and he is guiding us. And like when you try to do a thing, you can feel from within that there is somebody inside who is telling this is not right, this is right. That we should have the knowledge to recognize that and go as per that. And if we do not agree with that, still then the Paramatma gives the permission and you are able to do the wrong thing also. But then you are under karma bandhana at that stage and you will be responsible for what we are doing. That has to be understood very, very clearly. The Lord is impartial. Even if he gives permission, he is not part of it. That means, suppose we incur sin, the Lord is not part of that sin. Like in the material world, suppose somebody kills an animal, that chap is, that individual is responsible. But suppose anybody had ordered him to kill, then he is also eligible for the to incur the sin. And suppose the meat is eaten by somebody, then he is also responsible like this. But the Supreme Lord as Paramatma, he is not responsible for any sin committed by us, because he is giving an hint in the beginning only, he is guiding us to do the right thing. But still, since we have got the choice, a little independence which the Lord has given us, and we are misutilizing that, that's why we are only responsible in the karma bandhana. And I think we are talking yesterday also, hinting at yesterday, how the sins will be destroyed. Now, when we do Saranagati, you have taken the refuge of a spiritual master, Guru, and you have totally surrendered. At that time, except Prarabdha, all the other sins, that is the Sanchit and Kriyamana. Sanchit is the pile of karma which are there from the previous births. And Kriyamana is what is happening in this present life. All these get burnt. And after Saranagati, the devotee, he does not get involved or indulged in any pap karma or any karma which is not to be done. That's why he won't incur any sin thereafter. But prarabdha stage, but at some stage, prarabdha also gets reduced or lessened because of the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Because if the Lord finishes all the prarabdha, then the individual will die then and there. So he does not want that. But if one becomes a proper devotee of the Supreme Lord, then all these the sorrows or tribulations he faces, they are nothing in front of his devotional service. That's why he doesn't mind all that, and he keeps on doing practicing his devotional service, and that's how he moves. And as you know, if you are the proper devotee of the Lord, you are a pure devotee of the Lord. And if you are not able to remember the Lord at the last moment, the Lord will remember you. That He has promised. That's why we should try to become uh, proper devotee of the Supreme Lord, that is, pure devotee of the Supreme Lord, by following what is given in the Shastras, what is given by the sadhus, what is given by the spiritual master. And somebody may ask, if somebody has not taken any guru, that is, he has not taken any initiation, what happens to him? Anybody knows the answer? Somebody has not taken initiation and he dies, then what happens to that person? But he has been chanting the name of the Lord.
He get the second chance, and in that family that he अपने भक्ति को आगे बढ़ा सके.
Yes, and this we should remember, that even if you have taken the name of the Lord even once in your lifetime, you have prostrated before the Lord only once in your lifetime, there is no loss altogether. You will be rewarded in your next life, and in your next life, you will start from where you had left. There is no doubt about it. But it is given in the Shastras, it is compulsory, it is necessary to take the initiation, take the refuge of the Guru. And that's why if you see Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, or the Lord in any of the incarnations as a human being, he has always accepted a spiritual master, though he doesn't require that. But that is to teach for all of us to learn from that. So,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
yes, yes.
Suppose we chant, we have not taken Diksha, and we chant Krishna name, Japa, then if we go die, then after that it is necessary that we should have, we will get the chance to recite again, to remember God again, because it depends on the family. If the family is like that, there is no bhakta, no religious atmosphere, then what will happen?
You see, we are guided by our own karma. It is not dependent on anybody else. But the circumstances, that should not that should not influence us so much. We should still carry on having or discharging our devotional service to the Supreme Lord. And if we have not, if one has not taken the initiation, please remember, he or she can chant the name of the Lord. There is no problem, but not the mantra. Mantra japa is not allowed if it has not been given by the Guru. That is one thing. Then the second thing, what you asked, what will happen to such a person? He or she will get sadgati only. That means, like Darsha Mataji said, but that person will get a second chance. The Lord will give a human body only because he has chanted the name of the Lord. He has been doing devotional service. He has been going to the temple. He has been worshipping the Lord at home. He has been prostrating before the Supreme Lord. He has been obeying the sadhus. He has been studying the Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. That means all the benefits will be there. But If you are initiated, then the benefits are little more. That is what I mean to say.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
प्रभु जी इनिशिएशन लेते हैं तो हम हमारा जो सटल बॉडी है वो भी हम ड्रॉप करके आगे जा सकते हैं, है ना प्रभु जी?
No, even without also you can go, but that is the ultimate stage. At the end, when the Atma goes to the spiritual world, that time everything gets dissolved. Man, buddhi, ahankar also gets dissolved. I mean the material ones.
ओके प्रभु जी मेरा एक दूसरा भी क्वेश्चन है। आज हमने जो भगवान के जो नेगेटिव एट्रीब्यूट्स देखे, अदृश्य, अस्थूल और निष्क्रिय, तो उनके बारे में भी थोड़ा ज्यादा कुछ समझाए ना प्रभु जी?
Okay, when we go through the class on Adi Shankaracharya, that time we will see that Adi Shankaracharya, he interpreted the same verses of the Upanishads by taking one portion and explaining something. And that's what it has created confusion till now. And there are still people following his sect, and they say something else, whereas the other people like the Supreme Lord came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he taught bhakti, that is the Gaudiya Vaishnava. That is the correct thing. All those interpretations Adi Shankaracharya made, that was for a different purpose, that we will learn. So they are not the correct interpretations. We should not go by them. We should not study them. We are just being given an overview of that. We should learn that only. You should not go and study Advaita Vedanta to know what they do. It should not be done because that is very, very harmful. We are just giving an overview for you to understand what is that Advaita Vedanta and why it was like that, and what do they say? They finally say what? There is no difference between Atma and Paramatma. There is no difference between the Supreme Lord and the Jiva. They say the Supreme Lord comes under the influence of Maya. And once Maya is removed, then the individual, he becomes the God, which is not the thing. How can we be God? We are permanently separated from the Supreme Lord. It is given in the Bhagavad Gita. Mamaivam sajivano ko jiva bhuta sanatana. Eternally, the individual soul is different from the Supreme Lord. There is no compromise on this principle. But they say something else that was for a different reason. That was to counter Buddhism at that point of time. Because all the things we will learn in those classes. Once we
Prabhu,
ओके
Prabhu,
प्रभु
you
जी,
said,
थैंक यू।
Prabhu, you said like a material mind and intelligence and ahankara drops. And then is there any spiritual mind, spiritual
yes,
intelligence?
yes. Like you see, during Krishna's time, the Brajavasis were there, the Gopis were there. They didn't have any material mind or material body or material intelligence. Everything they had were superior. Like you see, in all these explanations we have seen, they were crores of people in the Dwarka only. We heard there were how many attendants of the king? 33 trillions. But has any archaeological discovery found any of the skeletons till now? It is not possible because they had spiritual bodies. They were the eternal associates of the Supreme Lord. They had come for that purpose. Their mind, body, intelligence, everything was spiritual. And spiritual things, yes, when the Lord gives permission, we can see and perceive them. Otherwise, not. The Lord is in front of us now. We are talking of about Him. He is there around, but we cannot see. because of that reason. So that is what is the difference.
Prabhu. Yesterday, while we are reading Bhagavatam Canto 2, Prabhu, it is mentioned by Prabhupada in one of the puppet. He said, actually, liberated souls population is much, much bigger than the people who are like bounded in this material world.
Yes, as you see, this material world is 1/4, and the spiritual world is 3/4. It is that much bigger, and that much bigger population must be there. We have not seen so far. But what you were saying is that is very, very correct. That is a much bigger world.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay, thank you. But when we see in our world, like the people who follow the spirituality is very little, we think otherwise. We think reverse. Okay, okay. Yes,
Yes,
thank
yes. Then do you think one day everybody will get liberated and the complete material world will be empty? Nobody will be there.
you.
Will
That
this
is the
day
target
come?
of Krishna. That is target of Krishna, but we don't know whether that will happen or not.
That will also not happen because that is the Lord's Leela.
Oh, is it? So it will never happen, Prabhu. Material world will be always there.
It cannot
Okay.
happen that all the material worlds they will be empty and the spiritual world will be full only, and here nobody will be there. That means then there will be no requirement for creating the material world. But how can it happen? The Lord has to come to do the Leela, the individual souls, the Jivatmas have to be there.
प्रभु जी, अगर वो
But
मटेरियल वाले है तो ही हम अपने कर्म को कर सकते हैं
but
ना.
yeah.
Yes.
That's why
But
we
his,
have to come
the
again.
intention of doing the Leela is to get everybody right, Prabhu. His goal is he don't want people to suffer, right? Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. He is giving us a chance. And in our many lifetimes, we have not succeeded fully. We must have done some devotional service. That's why we are practicing that in this life. And perhaps in some lifetime, we'll become successful. So that is what is the plan of the Supreme Lord. I think the time is over.
Prabhu, understanding these Brahman and all these
I'm
concepts
sorry,
are so
Prabhuji. I'm very
essential.
sorry. Okay, I'm very sorry.
No problem.
I'm just talking. I'm just testing with Premaji. You know.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yes.
okay. Okay. All this is essential to understand Govinda Bhashyam, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. It's
Okay.
absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your patience, Prabhuji. I really, I apologize for this. Okay.
No problem. No problem. We are
Thank
having a
you.
very
No
interesting
problem, Prabhu
Q&A.
ji. No problem.
We can conclude today's class with the Nrsimha prayers.
I do, Prabhuji.
Yes, yes.
Nrsimha. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlad Lad Dahine. Prahlad Lad Dahine. Hiranyakashi Purvakshah. Hiranyakashi Purvakshah. Shilatangal Nakhalai. शीलाटङ्काल नकालाय इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा बहिर्नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा बहिर्नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा नरसिंहदिं शरणं प्रपदे तव करकमलवरे नखाम् अद्भुतशृङ्गां दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गम् केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे। तव कर कमल वरे नखा अद्भुत शृंगम दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृंगम केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे। जय जगदीश हरे। जय जगदीश हरे। जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव। जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज। जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय गुरुदेव। जय जय सभी भक्तों की जय एंड सभी भक्तों को धन्यवाद प्रणाम। आई थैंक यू प्रभु जी।
Hey, before you go, everybody, I want to share a wonderful news for you. Everybody's here?
Yes,
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Remaji just accepted my offer to give a guest lecture on our Ramanujacharya's Vishishta Advaitavada class, you know. As you know, she is the expert. She belongs to Sri Sampradaya, you know.
Yes, yes.
So we are
Very
going to
good.
hear
Very good.
we are going to hear from the expert.
Thank
Congrats.
you.
Congrats.
Very nice, Prabhuji.
Very
I
nice.
offered
We
her, I
can get
offered
more
her,
Very nice,
clarification
Prabhu.
on this
Haribol.
topic.
Very nice. Very
I
nice.
just offered and she accepted it, you know. Thank you.
Oh, very nice.
So
Haribol.
so we are really very fortunate. We really, that's in our honor and privilege.
It's a
Thank
humbleness.
you.
Yes, Prabhuji. So good news. Very nice.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much.
We are also
Haribol.
blessed to associate with them. So nice,
Wonderful.
Prabhuji.
We are very fortunate. Thank you so much. Haribol.
Wonderful.
प्रभुजी आपके लिए आपके द्वारा हमारा भी कितना अच्छा भाग्य हो गया कि हमने भी अच्छे से नहीं प्रभुजी वो तो आपको एक्सेप्ट करना पड़ेगा प्रभुजी जो भी हम लोग की वो क्वालिफिकेशन नहीं है प्रभुजी इतना मगर हम आपसे जुड़े हुए तो हम बहुत ही आगे बढ़
Raksha Mataji, please don't embarrass. Don't embarrass.
भाई,
नहीं प्रभुजी
I'm a teammate, okay?
यस यस प्रभुजी स्टिल वी हैव ग्रेट प्रभुजी आपका आपके बारे में हमें बहुत ही थैंक यू प्रभुजी
आपसे जुड़के ही आपसे जुड़के ही हमें ये सब कुछ मिल रहा है नहीं तो हम तो
दिस इज भगवान की कृपा भगवान की कृपा से प्रभु
Yes, Prabhuji, we have Krupa of
Lucky,
Lord.
That's true. That's true.
I don't, please, don't embarrass me. I don't have that qualification.
No, it is
Thank
true.
you so
Bhai.
much.
It is true.
Haribol. So take your time. You have taken too much time of you today, you know. Haribol.
No, Prabhuji. It's okay.
Thank you very much, Sanju Prabhuji, Sarat Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Chandra.
See you
Thank
next.
you,
I'm
Sir
working.
Prabhuji.
I'm
Thank you,
working on
Sanjay
lesson
Prabhuji.
5
Thank
now,
you,
right
all
now.
Mataji and Devi. Prabhuji.
Okay.
Tomorrow you'll be receiving lesson 5 PPTs. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji.
One second.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.